Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the British Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the Caernarvon Action 10. Now this is a heavy tank that they recently buffed in the tanks reforged for the Chieftain line, and it was a ridiculously good tank before they buffed it. Because its armour and mobility is a bit mediocre, but its gun handling and its DPM was utterly fantastic. This was a tank that before 6.0 barely missed, and after 6.0 never misses. It's a great gun, it's a pretty damn good tank. So what did they buff? Well, they buffed one thing and one thing only on this tank, and that was its DPM. It went from 5.9 seconds reload to 5.6. Now with the crew skills and stuff that you can put on from 6.0, you're seeing just how good the reload is, and if we boost it with food, we're going, oh, it's 4.1 seconds without the food boost. With the food boost, it's like 3.9 second reload, as you'll see in a second. Wait for it to reload in, and the shell's in, and it's 3.9 seconds. Like I say, 3.9 seconds for 220 alpha, I think it is. Or 230 actually with the 20 pounder. That DPM is insane. It just shreds. And I hadn't really played the tank since it came out a long time ago. I mean, I got this tank gifted to me by Tubby Wobbs, who is a former CC. Love you, Tubby. And it was incredible back then, but I just sort of stopped playing it because there was so much other stuff as well to play. And I forgot, really, just how much it shreds. I really did. I started playing this with Randy because I made the video on the Eradicator the other week, or the other day even, and someone said about, oh, you know, the Eradicator is really good. Yeah, sure, but the Paladin is even better. And I was like, well, you know, actually, I haven't played the Paladin in ages, so I'll give the Paladin a go. Yeah, it shreds. I was quite surprised actually when I was playing it. I was like, oh my goodness me, this is incredible just how quickly I'm wrecking people. Like, once people get in the gun sight of this tank, they don't keep the health for very long. So, in terms of the crew, what do I run on this tank? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Trap Mechanics, Steady Aim, Run and Gun, Situational Awareness, Firefighting, and Off-Road Driving. Now, if you recognise the crew, that's because it is from my FV215B. That is the crew that I put in this tank because it's a British Heavy Premium, right? I just put a British Heavy crew in there, and it's one of the ones, like I say, that was in the FV215B. And it works for this tank because, obviously, the gun handling is that amazing. I mean, you're seeing it now. The gun handling is that amazing. You don't even need the snapshot. So you've got two slots to mess around with. And with the FV215B, obviously, it's like, just, it burns so easily, so firefighting is a must for it. It could be used for the Caernarvon Action 10. It could be quite useful for it, and it is always nice to have firefighting, but you could also drop it out and run stuff like Rapid Aim to make your turret traverse 10% better, armor angling to make it so that you take less damage when you take a hit. You know, it just reduces that RNG of how much people can roll on you. Could be quite helpful for a tank like this with low alpha. You know, if there's a lot of tanks that you'll face that will do like 390. If you can reduce the damage they take, it means you can do more damage to them, that sort of thing. But, I mean, there's plenty of options out there. That's just what I run. And to be honest, the off-road driving is quite nice to have because it kind of reduces the terrain resistance penalties on this tank, makes it a little bit more manoeuvrable when it's running around, which is fairly nice. So, on this game, on Sand River, it was Sand River encounter, and we're moving towards the cap. They've taken that A-line. I decided it wasn't really worth sitting where Randy still is now because we still had a lot of tanks there. It was just getting awkward, getting a bit painful to try and play that position because there was just too many cooks in the kitchen, you know, and we just had to get away from it. But I decided, you know, I want to change up the angle. I want to get over here towards the cap, get onto this ridge line, and I can shoot them as they cross the A-line, possibly shoot anything that's sitting in their cap, or not cap, their spawn area, as it would be. It would be the cap on normal random battles. So we're in this position. We can't quite get a shot at the tortoise, although we are looking for it. It's slim to nothing shot through gaps in the rocks. And they are starting to cross, and I'm just waiting. Randy is spotting them up as they do make that push. And now this ST1 is coming straight into the crosshairs. And it's, like I say, it's lethal how quickly you take people's health. Sure, we're not hitting him for 400 and stuff, but, you know, we've done 700 damage in about 9 seconds, which is pretty damn fast, you know. And we're just trying to whittle him down a little bit to make it so that by the time he gets to Randy, he's not got the health. He's not got much health to play with, and Randy can sort of help, you know, sort him out at that point. So it's all about waiting. We're just being patient in this game currently. Because, I mean, there's still quite a lot of our tanks left. They've not got many tanks left in themselves. And we are all on this side of the map. They're on that side of the map. We get a nice shot into the artillery that gets spotted up. We can't quite finish him off, though. We may have good DPM, but not that good. And now the Conqueror makes the mistake. And I'm thinking, well, this Conqueror will probably snapshot me on the move because that's just what everyone does. But he actually misses. So it's like, well, you know what? Okay, I'm just going to keep popping these shots in. We set him on fire. He gets tracked. We're going to get another shell in. You know, he was full health when he crossed. Yeah, sure, someone else shot him as well, but we did the lion's share of the damage to him. And he's come out with it like 200 health. That's just how quickly people's health can disappear when they cross this tank. Don't underestimate just how quick this tank fires. So with the Conqueror moving across to that ridge line and most of their team up on this northern part of the map, I decide, right, it's time. We've still got the health. You know, we're in the lead. Let's move up, see if we can get some shots up and push the tempo on these guys up here. But unfortunately, we can't quite get the shot at the ST1 as he crossed over in the open. But look at this. This is perfect. They're all sort of in the open here. We might be able to get a few shots into them. This Caro P88 is in the open here, and just he's like, oh, I've made mistakes. You did make mistakes, sir. We shut him down, and now there's just the two heavy tanks left. There's the ST1, which we saw go towards the dip, and the Emil 1 that's here. But the Emil 1's hiding from us perfectly behind this rock and the dead wreck of this tank, which is really frustrating because it's like I could get so much more damage. I go for the tracking shot to get some assistance on this guy just because. We keep him tracked in place, and now we're in a position where we can get another shot into his lower plate, set him on fire, and he gets finished off. We're up to 4.2k damage, 2.4k assisted. We boosted our assisted up by 1,000 with that tracking shot on the Emil. And now we know exactly where the ST1 is. We've just got to get there and try and get the shot in before someone else in our team gets a nice shot into him. So, I really want the great finish here. Unfortunately, we don't get the chance to come down and ram him, but I thought, you know, he's probably going to get finished off before I get the chance to drop in and ram him, but we'll finish him off. And we did finish that game. We come second in the game because the Lycan had a great game. Finished with the Ace Tanker, the Confederate, the High Caliber, 2.1k base, nearly 2.2, 4.3k damage and 2.4k assisted. A really nice game for the Paladin in a tier 9 game. Like I said, the tank is absolutely fantastic. Is it as good as the Eradicator? I'd say it's on par. I'd say they're both very, very good heavy tanks that are based on the Caernarvon. Which one is better? I don't know. To be honest, I would say that they're both like, yeah, I would go with they're on par with each other, right? One is an autoloader, one is a single shot. This has better DPM, I believe, just about than the Eradicator, but the Eradicator's clip is just deadly. It doesn't have the highest alpha, but the fact that it reloads in like 14, 15, 16 seconds or something like along those lines for its 720 clip or something like that. It's really nice, and it's obviously similar in terms of its mobility and armour as this tank, and they both rack up the damage just so fast. But if people underestimate how good they are at firing, they don't live for very long. And I think it probably just boils down to playstyle, really. If you like autoloaders, you'll like the Eradicator. If you like fast firing heavies, you'll like the Paladin, because obviously something like the Paladin Caernarvon Action 10 is not going to be for everybody, because you don't have that heavy hitting alpha. You have to expose yourself a lot to get the damage out, which obviously leaves yourself with a lot of room for error. So a lot of people might not like that, which is where the Eradicator might be nicer because you drop the clip, pull back, right? But if you like the high DPM, the ability to just shred enemies up, this is one for you. So we've got a glut of enemy tanks here crossing in the open. We get a nice shot there into the Progetto as he was crossing. We've set him on fire. As you can see, the damage ticking up in there. Get another shot into him. And Randy Amarax, the poor guy, he did not have a good game. He did not have fun in that game. Now we've got a poor Tiger P. This position we're in here right now is a fantastic position. It's a great one to get more shots in. And we're just, because you can spot the enemy team as they cross into that position, they're there, because that position for the enemy team is very, very strong. But to get there, they have to cross the open. And if you have people like here, like me and Randy, that are spotting them up and shooting them as they're crossing, you can get lots of damage. And it's really, really nice. So we managed to get a 1,700 damage in the first 2 minutes there. We're just looking at more shots now. They've got TDs up on the camper hill. There's a 5120 there. We just tried to get a tracking shot into that Yahtzee, but unfortunately he doesn't track him in the first shot, because that is a problem with the tank, really, with the 20-pounder and the Alpha. You're not going to track people first time all that often. You don't have the high Alpha damage, and you don't have the caliber either. I think the 20-pounder is like an 82.5mm gun or something along those lines, somewhere around that region. So it's not the highest caliber in the universe, which means you do struggle with people's tracks, and the fact that if you had like 300-400 Alpha, you might track people first time, but you just don't. So just be wary of that when you are going for tracking shots. It's going to take you 2 shots at least on most tanks. So I want to move up now. I want to move up and get into position to spot the TDs and the heavy tanks over there. We managed to block a shot there, and now we're going to side scrape off this rock. This IS comes into view and range, and we're side scraping him out. We managed to ricochet him off our side, and this guy is so boned. We managed to track him in place. You're not getting out of this death grip. It's once this thing's tracked you, game over until your repair kit's back. We managed to finish off the IS. We're ricocheting what I assume is the 5120 firing at us right now, because it's firing really quickly. And I'm just waiting for the tracks to come up, because I want to go around this corner and spot that 5120. I'm pretty sure he's fired most of his clip now. So, I'm fairly sure it's safe. I'm just being careful, because obviously there is a Waffle Panzer 4 back there and the Yahtzee. Don't want to push it that too much right now. And there's actually the Waffle Panzer 4, so I'm like, okay, I'm risking it for a biscuit. We pop up, get a shot into the Waffle. Something tracked us from back there, which I assume again was the 5120, must have been reloaded or something like that. And he's just hiding away right now from behind that rock. This Leopard PTA is running away from our friends in that area on the southern part of the map. And I want to get rid of this Leopard PTA, because I want to get rid of these guys here, because that stops my next move, which is to try and get across to possibly spot the TD, sorry, and the medium tanks that are back there. We get a nice shot into the 5120, and I'm just going to see if I can get another one. He misses or ricochets, one of the two, and pulls back, so we give up on that one. Now we've got the Leopard PTA here. We're just looking for the slim shot, but it's just in a position where we can't quite get the shot in, which is a little bit annoying, because, like I say, I want to get these guys to get gone. When they're gone, I can think about what I want to do next. But we do get lit up, which makes me think that maybe the Yahtzee or something like that's come up there. But actually, it might have been just the Leopard PTA coming from behind his little hidey hole. And now this is where this tank excels. He bounces, and we're just going to absolutely shred him up again. Like I said, the DPM on this tank is absolutely insane. If you get your tank caught in this thing's crosshairs, don't count on surviving for very long at all. So there's the Waffle Panzer 4. We're going for the shot. Finish him off. Like I say, you don't have to aim for very long. This thing hits. We try and hit the 5120 on the move. Unfortunately, we don't quite do it. The 5120 manages to pen us there, did he? I think he penned us. But he pulls back behind cover. Now there's the Yahtzee dealing with the medium tank. And he's clearly spotted the heavy tank as well. So my thinking is right now, that 5120 must have blown his clip. I'm watching what's going on where Randy is, and I'm thinking, right, well, okay, actually, I want to get rid of artillery. Artillery's still in the game, I want to get rid of him. Yahtzee's going to be distracted with the heavy tank that's coming up. He's never going to pop up, right? So I ignore it. Then we get spotted, and it's like, oh, please don't be the 5120. And it's actually the Yahtzee. The Yahtzee popped up, shot us. We tried to get a retaliation shot in, which we shouldn't have done. We should just immediately have turned to try and get away from him. He does manage to bounce us, luckily. And the artillery does actually get spotted. We found our bounty. This is exactly what we wanted to find coming this way. Just wanted to get rid of this guy. We do get rid of him. And there's now only 3 tanks left. There's a T-54E2 with Randy over there. That I'm just going to back up now to see if I can get a shot at him. Hopefully if he backs up out of that little canyon ravine thing he's in. But he actually goes the other way, which means I'm not going to get a shot at this guy, which I haven't quite clocked onto yet. But we're still trying to elevate ourselves to see if we can get it. But there we go. He gets spotted. He has gone the other way, and he gets shut down by the Progetto 66, leaving just the 5120 and the Yahtzee left. So we're just going to push in and see if we can get any more damage on them. The Yahtzee's been pushed by the heavy tank, and we know the 5120 is round here somewhere. And it's kind of like, where is he? The artillery shuts down the Yahtzee, so there's no danger of him. And then here comes the 5120 rushing out. We get a shot into him. He's only got a chance to get one more shot in, and we would have finished him off, but Randy does finish him off, which is nice with the oversight. And we finish with the victory 5 kills, 5.7k damage, 2.2k base XP, 669 assistance, ace tanker, the steel wall, the high caliber, say 2.2, nearly 2.3k base XP. Really nice game again in the Paladin Caernarvon Action 10. It's a fantastic tank, on par with the Eradicator. It's an absolute beast. It is a lot of fun to play. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!